YouTube. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit how to get weight loss started, how to do mini cut, how to do a temporary little diet down to get you ready for, you know, it could be an event, it could be for birthday. Just everybody's different on what they want to look fabulous for. I already ate it, but I started this morning with a cream of rice. I love cream of rice. If you guys watch my past videos, I'm like cream of rice obsessed. Uncle Ben's cream of rice. I think that's Uncle Ben. I cooked the cream of rice last night. I just did 1/4 cup, and that is just 36 grams of carbs and 3 grams of protein. I also cooked it with my cake batter flavored muscle egg whites. And so I cooked those together, and after they cooked I just put it in a container. I put some cinnamon on top and some sugar-free pancake syrup that I just get from Walden Farms. Is this one? And I popped it in the fridge, so when I woke up this morning it was cold, because I am a big sweet tooth girl. I love desserts, I love cold things, so to me that is like, oh my god. Do you guys like my shaker cups? They're always everywhere, they always take over. The first mistake most people do is that they try to diet and cut more when they've already been on a diet and when they have already cut too many calories. That's the first mistake people make, is they don't give their body a break. They don't take a break from dieting. They don't give their body a time to reset, to refresh, to give it everything it needs from dieting. You hear about on season and off season. That can go for anything. It's just not for competitors. I would say I have an on and off season. My on season is when I'm prepping for something specific. After whatever it is I'm prepping for, then I take a break. I give my body a break. I bring my calories back up. I reduce the amount of cardio or the intensity of my training. I don't just stay on that forever on a daily, 365 days a year. I stopped dieting March, April. My body was like done, it needed a break, and so I took a break. Give my body what I need nutrition wise. So when I took a break, my macros for my carbs went back up to 200 grams daily. Now for me, that is maintenance level. And then I went back to just really eating a variety of stuff. I wasn't watching my fat intake, I wasn't watching my sugar intake, getting my carbs really from whatever sources I wanted instead of specific complex carbs. So I gave myself about 6 months of a break from dieting down, from a restricted diet, pretty much focusing on getting whole nutrient dense foods from all different sources, my fruits, my vegetables, different proteins, different fats, and different carbs. I was fully enjoying it and letting my body fully enjoy it. Time of taking break with my diet, less cardio, so I was doing 2 sessions of HIIT a week. I think I would max out at 20 minutes, 15, 10 minutes. I wasn't really consistent. I really didn't care how much cardio I was doing, if I completed those sessions a week or not. I was focusing more on just being happy, and you know, I'm not a big fan of cardio, so I was trying to find other means of doing my cardio, which came from, you know, my weight training and plyometrics or things like that. I just wanted to increase strength and maintain the muscle that I had, so that's why I was eating at maintenance level for my macros. I definitely made a lot of progress in that time. I mean, my strength has boom, that has shot up, and in the process I noticed a physique change. I didn't notice a decrease in body fat or increase. I didn't notice a increase or decrease in lean muscle mass size. I just noticed the shape of my muscles really started changing in a good way. They started really looking more curvy in a lot of areas, and just stronger. And I was feeling stronger, so I pretty much have maintained this physique for a good 6 months. So you guys probably notice I go through periods where I will be posting my supplements and what I'm taking and when I'm taking it and blah blah blah, and then you'll see a period where I kind of don't post about it that much. There is a reason why. see all over social media is, I take this, I buy this, I'm doing it all the time. People are just constantly pushing you in your face that they use these supplements all the time, you know, without taking a break. As a coach, as a nutritionist, I think that it's good to take a break from supplements for a period of time. Letting it do its own natural functions instead of depending on a supplement, your body eventually will adapt, especially fat burners or specific other stimulants. So I actually stopped taking a fat burner. I stopped taking majority of supplements when I stopped dieting and when I stopped doing cardio. So that was 6 months ago. So for 6 months, I took a break from pretty much everything except BCAAs. I think BCAAs is a great staple, especially when training. I would prefer to drink a BCAA instead of eating a food to get my amino supplement right around my training. So I have always been taking my BCAAs. You can't really plateau or adapt to BCAAs because BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, are essential amino acids. That means that your body doesn't naturally produce it, so you have to get it from another source. And in order for us to, I mean, we eat meat and protein every day. I mean, you know, you're just replacing some of your protein with a BCAA. We're about 3 weeks away from Olympia in Vegas. Olympia Expo that happens every single year. So I've already been on my diet plan for about almost 2 weeks now. So that will put me at about 5 weeks to kind of prep for Olympia. I have already noticed a slight change in my physique, kind of tightening up. So it's not a whole lot of time, which is fine. That's how these diets should be. It should always be temporary, not a lifestyle. And your body's gonna respond really well if you give it that break. I knew Olympia was coming up and I knew at some point I was gonna start doing a little prep. When I did start that prep, my body was gonna be like, all right, yeah, I can do this. You've been giving me what I want, so I will make some progress for you. It's those who don't give a break, and when they try to diet even harder, that they don't get the response that they want. When it comes to my lifts, I'm really focusing on single muscles. I'm not doing so much supersets and crazy random exercises. I'm really focusing on each muscle group. One specific exercise and trying to push back past my max every week. Still doing the same split. I train legs 2 days a week. I have a back day, I have a shoulder day, and then like an upper body arm day. So it's a combination of everything. So I'm doing 5 days training, weight training, and 2 days rest. And this is what I've been doing for the past 6 months. So I used to train 6 days a week with 1 day rest. The reason I'm taking 2 rest days is because I push really heavy weights, intense, on my lift days that I need more than 1 day of recovery. So I'm really pushing a lot heavier weight, and it's really exciting to me. It's really motivated me because it's a challenge. It's like, you know, I'm gonna try to get past this number this week. If I can't, I can't. We're gonna try next week. So, but I just keep trying to push past that max. Now my rep range is between 6 and 10. I've just adjusted it to myself and what I'm capable of and what I can handle. Now this is going to be different for every single person. So the methods I'm doing may not work for you and your body type. That's where I stress coming to, you have to be creative. You have to try different things. If you don't see much progress, you're pushing really hard with this specific method and it's not working for you, change it up, try something else. There's enough info, there's enough exercises, there's enough different ways to try things. It's just a matter of taking it upon yourself and trying those things, being, you know, playing around, getting past that fear, getting past that routine, and changing constantly. That's where I found the most success. Cardio, mostly sticking with stationary bike, Stairmaster, arc trainer, elliptical, not doing any treadmill because of what happened with my foot in the past and the fasciitis. So I'm just staying away from the whole treadmill and sprinting. So I still do like my sprints on my Stairmaster, my arc trainer, elliptical. So it's still the on and off, you know, the HIIT cardio, the high intensity interval training. So I'll do, you know, 30 seconds. I'm like, and then recover. So you have list cardio, low intensity state cardio, a medium intensity state cardio. And you have high intensity state cardio, which is where you're just full on maxing out as fast as you go for a short amount of time. Like it can be anywhere from 10, 15, 20, 30, 60 seconds, and then you come back down, either a medium or a low intensity where you let yourself recover for, you know, 30, 60 seconds. It depends on the individual and how long they need to recover. You do that for a period of time, and then you go back up again, and you do that for it ranges anywhere from 10, 20 minutes. This time I am not going by timed cardio. I am going by calories burned. I am watching my calorie burn through my cardio. It can end up being only 25 minutes, or it can end up being 35 minutes or 40 minutes. It just depends on how hard I push in my cardio session. Now, how did I figure out how much calories I should burn? Well, it goes back to if you were on maintenance macros for a good specific amount of time, and then what you do. Alright guys, I just wanted to explain a little bit how I figured out my calorie number that was needed for fat loss. First, I figured out what my maintenance macros were on my macro calculator on my website. Once I knew what that number was, I maintained at that number for 6 months. Now that I'm ready for fat loss, I went back to my macro calculator and recalculated my calories according to my fat loss goals. Once I have this number, I subtracted that from my maintenance calorie number, which brought me to a 409 calorie difference. So the only thing I'll be increasing is the intensity in my cardio, which I focus on burning 400 calories. Fine tunes it a little bit more, really connect my diet with my training, because you could be intaking too less or you're not burning enough, you know, so it goes down to that. So it's just really fine tuning it, like really fine tuning it. 4 days of cardio, 3 days of miss, 1 day of HIIT cardio, and I started that 2 weeks ago. No, in the past I've done fasted cardio, which if a lot of you don't know what that means, it's just doing cardio on an empty stomach. But there's no real science that can back that up, that it works better from doing cardio any other time of the day. I do my cardio separate from my training sessions just because of how my days are. But I'm still eating before my cardio session and giving myself adequate enough time to rest, recover, refuel from food before I do my training session. Sometimes I do it after my training session. It just depends on how my days go. I also do sometimes my cardio sessions on my rest day because it's just cardio. I've already seen some progress, especially because I have taken a break from cardio and I took a break from dieting, and so now introducing these back into my regimen. My body is responding the way I want it to. So we'll see what the next 3 weeks bring. I'm not expecting a huge decrease in body fat in the next 3 weeks. Just more what I'm focusing on is just kind of like tightening it up a little bit, you know. Only adding them in just for the time that I am going to be getting ready for Olympia Expo. Of course, always taking my Stance supplements. BCAAs, this is the pink lemonade. So this one is the BCAA complex. So I take this one every day. I take it, I drink it during my training. It's really preference when you want to take it. You can do it before your training, you can do it during, you can do it after, you can do it later in the day, earlier in the day. It really is up to you. I personally like it during my training. I just do 1 scoop. I'm back on my Karbolyn again. You guys remember Karbolyn? I talked about this in the past. This is basically the pure form of carbs. This is the natural flavor. It does not have any sweetener to it. And it's not too bad. Like I mix it with this, so you get the flavors. I do it during my lifts. I do half a scoop, just according to my macros. I don't have to take a whole scoop because I want to get carbs from different areas, so I only do half a scoop. So it ends up coming out to 26 grams of carbs or 25 grams carbs. Like, don't do a pre-workout. As I've said many times before, this gives me natural energy. So I started my stance. You guys probably saw that I posted about this on my Instagram stories. So this is stance ATP. ATP is something your body naturally produces. We know it as your body's cellular energy molecule. Basically, ATP is what helps you push out reps, so that burst that you do in your lifts or when you're doing sprinting. So those short, powerful burst moves is what your body depends on. It depends on ATP to get you through that. Just like anything else in your body, eventually it gets depleted. You get gassed out. You can't do anymore. So by supplementing it in, it just kind of increases that, increases strength, increases power. Also has purest form of crealkaline in it, the creatine. The combination, it helps to increase your muscle endurance. It helps increase strength, and then of course size, depending on what your nutrition and training is tailored to. Now, because I'm not trying to make gains, this is just going to really help me, maintain a good lean muscle mass and help me get stronger and help me be able to push out those reps, especially because my focus has been really intense, heavy training sessions. Absolutely freaking love this. I've been recommending it to all my clients, and the progress that I've seen with this, the results has been awesome. So I take this, I do 3 capsules about 30 minutes before every training session, and you got the combine of everything else. Oh my god, like amazing. I went back on fish oil, so I just do 2 capsules a day with the fish oil. This is Nu-Tek. This is just from nutrishop, so this is what we sell at our nutrishop or any nutrishop. Multivitamin, this is just Rainbow Light, food-based multivitamin. I got it at Whole Foods, and the reason I'm taking those in is because of the change in my diet. So, just being a little bit more strict for this short period of time. Back on the stance fat burner, what I really like about the stance fat burner, what really sets it apart, that's the one that I've taken seminars on and actually got to really understand the ingredients and how they work. Stance has certain milligrams of niacin in it. Niacin is an essential B vitamin. Now remember, essential means your body does not produce it, so you have to get it from a different source. B vitamins help convert carbs, glucose to be used as energy. So that's why there's certain B vitamins in fat burners, because the combination, it just helps to increase the metabolizing of fat. It also gives you that hot red flush feeling, but that's what the niacin does. Some people don't like the hot red feeling. I personally don't, but if you drink plenty of water, you're fine. And the next thing that really stands out about stance is dicana. So dicana, the ingredient that's in the stance, is a non-stimulant fat burner. Dicana helps to raise your metabolic rate. It helps to work directly with your fat burning hormone. And because this helps to increase your oxygen intake, increases your metabolic rate, increases the body temperature, the fatty acids that are being stored in your body are free from fat cells, used, metabolized, burned for energy. The other amazing function of dicana is it actually increases protein synthesis. So dicana essentially, it helps protect and favor muscle mass. So with the increase in protein synthesis, it just means, especially when you're in a fat loss, the protein you're intaking, it's gonna optimize that protein and protecting your muscle fibers, protecting and maintaining them. And that's what I really like about the stance, is because the combination of ingredients in this one, and I am so sensitive to caffeine in general. I've always just stuck with stance because I had such success with it and I enjoyed how it worked with my body, so that's why I use stance. So Lipotropic, which is the L-carnitine, and also has chromium picolinate. It helps convert fat cells, carbs, glucose into energy. And the nice thing about Lipotropic is it is stimulant and caffeine free. So those of you that don't want to use a stimulant fat burner, you can go with a Lipotropic. I'm just gonna be using them, timing them religiously, being religious, committed to it all the way up to Olympia. So we'll see what the next weeks bring. Really all I'm changing is my carb intake and watching the sugar intake and watching the fat intake. My carb sources are going to come from more complex carbs, so my rice, my potatoes, my oatmeals, my cream of rice. Maybe do my Rice Krispie treats pre-workout again. That'll be really the only sugar I'm intaking, you know, maybe with some fruit, but that's going to be watched very closely. I'm only gonna stick to about 50-60 grams of sugar right now. So I'm gonna still have some, but I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be very picky and choosy on where it's coming from. My choices are gonna be from more dark berries like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. Now I am making my Rice Krispie treats. I am weighing it out. I made a recipe in MyFitnessPal. The batch, I counted everything out and weighed it all out, so I know exactly what I'm intaking. Let's look at my MyFitnessPal right now. So one serving, which I think I weighed out 1.5 ounces, is 36 grams carbs, 3 grams fat, and sugar is about 16 grams. And then I get my sugar from my fruit that can range anywhere from 10 grams of sugar. So right there you can see, so I'm still staying quite a bit below my sugar intake, and which is awesome. So just really watching the sugar intake from what I was doing before. I'm not doing any cheats right now. Fat intake is going to be more of my oils because it's a concentrated form of fat without the added carbs or protein. It's just straight fat. So then you can really track your fats easily. Really watching the fat intake of what my sources are. Before I was doing a lot of cheese and cream cheese, and then protein, I'm sticking with a lot of lean proteins. So I'm not doing any red meats, I'm not doing any high fat turkeys, I'm doing very lean turkey, chicken, white fish, shrimp, my egg whites, my flavored egg whites, my whey proteins, which I'm only doing a whey protein right after my workout. That's the only time I'm taking it because it's quick absorption, quick recovery, because it is liquid. So I want to get that right after my workout. I do not have a specific time of when I eat each meal. I stick my carbs mostly around my workout because when my body's in high demand for energy, so I want my energy to be coming from my carb sources. I am dropping my carbs down to 135 grams carbs. But the key to remember, guys, is that I was on a high carb for almost 6 months because I was eating high carbs for so long that when the decrease, my body is going to respond. That is the key when it comes to dieting, is you're always taking a break, giving your body more food, and then when you are ready to diet down, then you can decrease, and then you're gonna get the response that you want. So that is key. I'm gonna say it again. You always want to give your body a break from dieting before you try to diet again, so that you do get the response that you want. Your body will respond in a positive way. When I'm not prepping, when I'm not dieting down, I eat the same macros every day. But just for this prep, because I'm kind of really want to shock my system, rest days I am doing 100 grams of carbs, 150 grams protein, 40 grams fat. My upper body days, which is 3 days a week. On my leg days, my most demanding days, I do 150 grams carbs, 150 grams protein, 40 grams fat. So that is kind of my macro split for my diet. Goal with all the changes, the decrease, the increase, is that in the next remaining 3 weeks, I can make some progress in that time. It's not a whole lot of time. I'm not exactly sure how quick my body will respond because everybody's different. Some people take longer, some people will take quicker. I've kind of learned with my body likes to take its time, so that's why I'm not expecting a huge change in this short amount of time, but it'll be enough that there will be some noticeable changes. Really, all the dieting is tightening some things up, really fine-tuning the numbers, really keeping more track of what's going in and what's going out. I'm not staying on this diet plan for a long time. So once Olympia rolls around, the month after that, me and Zach are going to Hawaii. So I might want to kind of maintain a lean physique for that. So once Olympia comes and goes, then I'll kind of reassess my nutrition plan and my training plan and kind of go from there. All right, guys, that is HunnyBuns physique update and Olympia prep update, what I am doing. So I'm excited to see what the next 3 weeks will bring. What it comes down to is being 100% consistent, committed, working hard to the program, and that's where you get the results. But only, reminding you guys again, only if you have taken a break from dieting, okay? A diet is not gonna work if you've already been dieting. You can't diet a diet. But I'm excited. Okay, so now it's time for me to go train legs because it's leg day and I get more carbs today. Woohoo! Thanks for tuning in again. I love you guys so much. By the way, Mervs. But I will see you guys on the next video. Mwah!